sense, and I think tomorrow will probably make even more sense once we see how it looks. But we've got a fully tucked wheel and tire now. Welcome back to the workbench, where we try to make things. What we're continuing to try to make today is Revell's Ford FD-100 pickup, the Foose design kit they put out a few years back that we're doing quite a bit different. And if you'd like to get caught up on those differences, there's a link down in the description to a playlist. You can get completely caught up on this build. But what we're working on now, or at least what I said I was going to work on after yesterday's episode, was the front cross member. We need to get this motor mounted in to the chassis. So I need to get that front cross member all worked up with body mounts and where it's going to connect and how it's going to connect. And I did none of that. I didn't do that at all yesterday. I'm procrastinating. That's going to take some thinking. So I'm really still thinking about how exactly I want to make that work. So instead, I worked on the rear fenders. So if you're here to see the front cross member go in, I'm very sorry. Instead, you're going to get to see an update on the rear fenders. And you can see we've got the back of this thing sitting on the ground now. Basically, we were having, to catch anybody up that's new, we are having to graft in how are we going to say this? A second fender into the first fender so that we can get this wheel to tuck all the way up this high. Now, real quick, before we take a closer look at that, I do want to mention, because we've got the back sitting so low now, you can see the front is not all the way on the ground. Not quite, or at least if with this on the ground, you can see now we've got a gap between the cab and the running board, and that's because this front tire is holding us up. Well, and this one, just to show you quickly, it's going to be super simple to fix. Basically, the tire's rubbing right here on the inner fender. Basically, we just got to build a little bump out in the inner fenders. That's super simple. Then the cab will sit all the way to the ground also. But let's move the cab out of the way. That's not what we're here to talk about today. What we're here to talk about today is the bed. So let me get all this stuff kind of moved out of the way. I've got to be a little bit careful. I've actually got some wet glue on this. So I remembered, I always forget, but I remembered I took pictures during the process so I kind of show you the process of how we've got to here. So first I had to just, basically what I did, first things first, I went and bought a second kit. So I waited for Hobby Lobby to have their 40% off sale, and I went and bought a second one of these kits because I needed the fender, a second set of fenders to use as the cap on top of this fender. And hopefully that'll make sense as we kind of go through this. So what I did is I cut out the original, or I cut out, we'll call it the second fender, or the second kit's fender. I cut that fender completely outwards, just the fender shell. And then I traced that onto the original, the first kit, the kit we're using's bed. I traced that out just so I kind of know where it would sit. And then I went back and adjusted that line to more where, to more relate to where the tire is going to be. And in fact, I actually went and refined it even more with the tire in place to get exactly where I needed to cut. So I wanted to have, I'm trying to explain this the best I can. I wanted to know how much room I had for the second fender in comparison to where the cutout's going to be. So in other words, I didn't want to cut out material and then the second fender wouldn't cover it. So basically I created the outside line and the inside line, or the cut line. That made probably no sense, but hopefully the pictures help. And then once I cut that out, I just had to file it down just a little bit to make sure and get the wheel to fit, because the wheel and tire need to fit up in there and not squish in there too much. So I just kind of filed it down a little bit. And then I was able to go back and kind of mark the second kit's fender down to where we can cut it down some to just be a cap. We didn't want all that material out here because we wouldn't be able to get that to shape in. So what I needed to do was make sure and cut this fender down so that I can then blend it into this shape here. If I had all that fender out here, it'd just be big and thick and bulky. I hope that makes sense also. And then of course I just glued the cap in place once all that was done. And now where I'm at, you can see as well as we see, let me see if I can show you down here below before my battery goes down. You know, we've got it to where the bed will sit completely on the ground. In fact, this wheel can go too low now. It can go past where we need it. It's going to be more about right in here. about right in there. Anyways, so what I've got to do now, or what the, I guess what the next process is, let me turn this camera down here off before it turns off on me. We need to blend this in. So the first thing I've already done, and that's why, man, I keep sticking my finger in it. I use some thick CA glue. The first thing I'm doing is using some thick CA glue. This is Starbond CA glue. The label came off of it. Like, here's their thin stuff. It's Starbond CA, which is really good stuff. And by the way, there's a link down in the description to a discount on this. It's really good CA, and they have every different CA glue you've ever heard of, and activator and all that. This is the thick viscosity stuff, and I use that to fill gaps because there was, hopefully maybe I can kind of show you, there is gaps in here, and I'm going to fill it with the CA glue because it, two things. One, it's going to fill the gap, and two, it's going to help glue this more solidly in place. And then I've already started, and hopefully you can tell, because, well, let me point this out. This profile here, let me see if you can make sure you can kind of see it. You can see this profile here, not hard. This is just going to be a fill and then blend it out. Same with this side up front. Let me make sure you can kind of see. There we go. That profile, not hard. It's just going to be a fill, and I'll fill it probably with more CA glue first, and then with body filler, and then with spot putty. But that's not going to be hard either. It's just a fill and then blend it out, right? The harder profile is going to be this one, which I've already started on, because you can see, hopefully, let me make sure you can see how this kind of bulbs out past where we want. We want to set this back some. So I've already started kind of just slowly sanding this back, filing this back here. And I just need to get that hump off of it. I need to set, the way I like to say is I need to take this line, this curve, this body line right here, and set it back some. I need to send it back this way to get that shape. I don't want it to bulb out and back in, and then, you know what I mean? I want a nice smooth finish. So that's going to be the hardest one to do. And actually the hardest thing to do with these little things is to not, while doing that, not affect, see, we have this wheel well trim, which I want to keep. I want to keep this wheel well trim. I mean, I don't know if we'll end up bare metal foiling that or just do it paint, but I want to keep that line. Well, as I work this shape, I got to be real careful to not hit that, not affect it. Same with this upper rail up here. In fact, even when I was making the cuts, because I was just using an X-Acto knife to make the cuts, I had to be real careful not to jam the X-Acto, because it was coming in from this way, because I could keep it flat against this, right? My X-Acto knife, my blade. But if I pushed too far, if I made it through and too far, I'd jam into this. So I had to be real careful. And it just takes a lot of time, because if this was a big old Fender, full-size Fender, you're just hitting it with a, if it was full-size Fender, we'd put it through a shrinker and we'd pie cut or whatever. But with these little, it takes so much time, because I'm trying not to affect any of the other shapes around. I don't want to lose, and it's so easy to mar these plastic pieces, so you just got to be real careful and take your time. So that's where I'm at now. What I think I'm going to do next, I'm going to let this CA, in fact, I can see I need to add some here. I'm going to let this CA dry. I might hit it with activator just to get it done quick. I'll put another layer of the thick CA glue, thick Starbond CA glue, to help fill that gap, and to kind of fill that out. And keep in mind, also remember, this CA glue is sandable. It will sand once it's dry and everything. It will sand. So I'm not too worried about. I'm not trying not to make a mess with it. I'm not going to make this big globby nasty mess, but it will sand, so I don't have to worry too much. So what I'll do is I'll fill that real well, and then I'll come in with body filler, and just pull it down this way. This is, by the way, after I've got this shape the way I want it, because this shape is going to affect this shape, right? When I say this shape, the corners, it's going to affect those. So once all that's done, then I can just start body filling it, and then it's just, pulling out your inner Michelangelo and making it look good, right? Just building a statue out of marble, I guess, except out of body filler, But that's where it'll be at, and I'm going to try to get all that done this evening, and then so tomorrow, hopefully, we'll have. I hope to have one fender roughed in. I don't think I'm going to have it full body worked. It just takes too long. But I hope to have it kind of roughed in where you can really understand where it's going to be. And then we'll do the other side, which, by the way, I kept this cut out here. I made in the original fender there and used it to trace where the cutout needs to be on this one. I've got the cutoffs from the second kit's fender. I've got both cutoffs, which I can use to mark the fender to cut, to cut those. So basically we're doing exactly the same thing on both sides. So once that side's roughed in, I'll come to this side and I'll rough it in. I hope that makes sense. And I think tomorrow will probably make even more sense once we see how it looks. But we've got a fully tucked wheel and tire now. So I'm happy. I'm excited. It's going to look, I think it's going to look pretty killer. Let me know what you think down in the description. Let me know what you think so far about the body work. Sorry we didn't get the front cross member in for the motor. I do need to do that. I'm going to do that soon. I'm kind of figuring out how I want to tie in this lower cross member is the main thing. Just getting that lower cross member tied in. I probably need to actually build the air shocks first. So I'll probably have to do that first now that I really started thinking about it to be able to know where it needs to place. So I'll probably do that. Oh, I know one thing I wanted to point out real quick. I don't want this video to go too long. This is about, let me put the wheel about where it's going to sit. Let me see if I can show you from up top. Okay, get in there, frame row. What is happening is when we go full squat like this, the rear end is going to sit completely against this cutout. And can you hear that and see that? This frame rail in the bed here is kind of in the way. It needs to run right through there. So I'm going to have to just notch that out, which should be a super simple thing to do. Just notch these frame rails out. So then when the rear end's in, it is going to literally just be sitting all the way down against the notch in the frame rails. And then it lines right up. Well, that will slid down because it doesn't go quite that low, but it will pretty well line up directly into our rear wheel, and we'll have a kind of a perfect fit. But anyways, let me know what you think down in the comments section. I think we're making good headway. If this is a build that you enjoy and would like to keep up with, please hit the subscribe button. It's free. Subscribe button, like button, hype button, free. Notification button. Kind of free. It's free, but it might annoy you. But if you do want to keep up with these, do hit that notification button. I don't know. Do all those things everybody tells you to do on YouTube. I got a ton of work to get back to get this done. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.